Hey guys, we're back over here at the Calcite and Druzy spot. This is a road cut that's right here off of the Arkansas and Missouri border. And because it is a road cut, there's a highway right here behind me, which means there's going to be some road noise, so I apologize about that in advance. Last time I was here, I found some really awesome Dogtooth Calcite crystals, and I'm coming back here today to try to find some more. All right, let's see what we can find and have some fun. Check out all these loose crinoid discs just laying around. Look at that. They're all coming out of rocks like this right here and right up above it. See all these crinoids? Here's a larger one. Look at the texture on that thing. Isn't that cool? They're just all around over here. Really, really neat. So I wound up grabbing a few handfuls of these individual little crinoid pieces. I'm not quite sure what I want to do with them just yet, but they're pretty neat to have around. I even found a couple little shells in there too. Well, I didn't set out today to go out looking for fossils, but apparently that's what I'm meant to do. Check that out. Here's a quick look at that piece after I got it all washed off. Also, here's a couple quick detail shots of some of the fossils on there. Some of those reflections are showing that they're calcified. I got another one. I pulled them both from the top of that. I was able to separate them out. Look at that big plate, full of crinoids. Again, here's a quick look at this piece after I got it cleaned off as well, along with a couple of detailed shots of the fossil plate. That's really, really nice. Look at this one over here. I got druzy all over that, and then crinoids all over the top of this. Check out the textures on some of those. Really, really cool. So this isn't the exact same rock, but it's one that's really close. It's got fossils on one side and druzy on the other. Here's a quick detail shot of the fossil plate that's on that rock, followed by a few of my other fossil finds from my trip there. I'm not sure what these dark inclusions are that's on this plate, but I think they're pretty neat. Here's another small piece followed by a detailed view of it, and then I'm going to show one more after that. And here's one more small piece with the detailed view as well. Well, I'm not going to take this big giant rock. I've got my 42-inch pry bar underneath it for leverage. Man, it's got a ton of druzy all over that, which would be nice to have, and fossils all over the top of it. I might try to separate. There's a crack right here. Sorry, hand in the way. There's a crack right here. Might try to separate that piece. All right, my original hole that I worked at the first time I was here, it was this right here and right over there. So I pretty much cleared out a lot of that stuff. So I started working up here to the left, removed this rock, starting to remove some stuff right here, following a vein of some calcite crystals and such. And I just pulled this piece out right here. Got several more just like it. Have a Dolomite matrix with calcite crystals, and possibly either druzy or Sphalerite. Can't tell yet, it's pretty dirty. But I'm about to pop out these right here. I just got this loose, and we'll see what's behind it. All right, so I took my 42-inch crowbar, did a little bit of sweet talking, got behind this crack, popped it out, loosened it up. Put a bag down here in case there's anything that falls out of here that potentially I might want to keep. It'll be easier to find on top of the bag instead of trying to go through all the rubble and all the weeds down there. What I'm interested in is this piece right here. Not so much the chert underneath it. This will be one big giant piece. That's a lot of rock for very little material. Maybe we'll just get this stuff up here above it, or follow that line that goes right through there. All right, so I had to wait for a couple cars to pass by. I just took a piece off from right there. Check out all that calcite. Calcite and Druzy or Sphalerite, I'm not sure which. Right now it's all dirty. All that brown is just a layer of dirt over top of the calcite. And then that kind of cream colored right here above my pinky finger, that's all Dolomite. It should be really, really pretty when we get it all cleaned up. Speaking of getting it cleaned up, here it is after I got it all washed off. All right, so here's a couple examples of some Dolomite that I'm just now pulling out. And I'm about to get some pieces out of here that look like they have some Druzy on them as well, or maybe some calcite crystals. That was no good. A little bit of calcite on that one. And broke up. And too many cars driving by. Oh. There we go. Beautiful. All right, so I removed some rock up there, a rock right here. What I want to get down to is this right here. And I got it loosened up. I think this is going to come out first. Just a little loose piece. Little loosey-gooseys. Check that out. Man, that is so beautiful. It's covered in dirt and roots, but it sure is pretty. I know I don't do it with every find, but I at least want to show what some of these look like after I get them washed off. And it's nice to have it right next to where I pulled them out right out of the rock wall, so you can see the difference between them being dirty and then how they are all cleaned. So I was beating on this rock a little bit more. You can see where I hit it, white spots there with my hammer. Broke off a piece there, broke off a piece right over top of this vein. And check that out. Beautiful calcite crystals over some Druzy, over some Dolomite. That's just beautiful. It'll look really pretty once we get it all cleaned up. All right, after I got that top one off, here's what the bottom looks like. I got a little bit too much dust on there from where I was hitting things with my chisel and going up above it. But after I get that cleaned up, it should look really pretty. All right, so after chiseling away a little bit more, I've got these two loosened up. At least I thought I did. Let me try this one here first. There we go. One. And two. All right, so after beating around on this thing some more, I uncovered a calcite vein going left to right, right through here. And I just got this piece loose. We got a Dolomite matrix, calcite on top. It should be really pretty once we get it cleaned up. Let's break off some more of this stuff. All right, so I got this piece of Dolomite, calcite Dolomite loosened up. Wait for the car to pass. Might need to loosen that up just a little bit more. Maybe that'll be loose enough. Oh, there we go. Nice big heavy chunk. I'm losing half of it. So this is the spot where I was working at when I found the large dogtooth crystals. That one smaller one, about an inch and a half long or so, was right there. I had two larger ones right here. There was a spot like this right here from where one of the large ones broke off. I dug it out to reveal it was actually a double terminated dogtooth crystal. Check that out. We'll clean that up after we get home and see how it looks like all cleaned up. But I'm just so excited I found a large dogtooth crystal again. So just about all of the large dogtooth crystals that I found at this location have some sort of calcite-like growth over top of the crystals. Thankfully, each piece has got some little windows in there where we can see the calcite underneath. When the sunlight hits it, it really glows. It's very, very pretty. Well, after doing a little bit more digging around and removing some mud, I was looking at this stuff right here, and it looks like it was a broken calcite crystal, like it's going that direction. And I cleaned off some mud over here, and look what we got. Oh, that's loose. Try to wiggle that loose. Oh, we have got another dogtooth crystal. Check that out. How beautiful is that? Look at that perfect cube right there over some Dolomite and some Druzy Quartz. Pulled it right out of here. I'm going to try and work some more of this stuff out. I'm trying to get over here to this little cavity and get some of that stuff that's back in there, and hopefully I can find another large dogtooth calcite. So the tools I'm using are that 4-pound sledge and 2 different chisels. And I'm pulling out this Dolomite and calcite crystals. Really, really nice stuff. Everything's going to sparkle once I get it all cleaned up. Oh, I have my 42 inch pry bar as well that I've been using for extra leverage. So I started to work this area over here a little bit more. I just pulled out a piece of calcite. Check that out. Isn't that beautiful? Should be really pretty after we get it all cleaned up. It's got a little bit of Dolomite, a little bit of Druzy. Dolomite here, Druzy in between that and the calcite. All right, so let's take some of these finds home and see how they look all cleaned up. Hey guys, right off the bat, I found some fossils. I didn't go up there to look for fossils specifically, but I found them all over. I even found a few handfuls of just loose crinoid pieces, so I just grabbed a couple handfuls of those and brought those home with me as well. Right in that same area where I found all the fossils, I found a lot of Druzy Quartz as well. For some bonus footage, I'm going to have a few of my Druzy Quartz pieces at the end of this video, so stick around and check them out. There's some pretty good ones in there. Here's a quick example of some Sphalerite. The Sphalerite is that kind of yellow-orangish color. It also used to be called amberjack. This is a small example of some calcite cubes and Druzy Quartz over top of some Dolomite. Now this is a pretty unique piece right here. We've got some purple calcite. Purple calcite is really, really rare. I've never even heard of it until I found it just a couple of months ago for my first time. There's also some really neat green inclusions in there also. And of course I always love the rainbows. And of course this is just a big old piece of calcite over top of some Dolomite. This piece right here is really neat also. It's got the Dolomite, the calcite, but some more of those green inclusions. Here's another piece with the purple calcite and yellow calcite over top of the Dolomite. Look at the rainbows in that purple calcite. Isn't that beautiful? Also, we've got some more of those green inclusions in there. I'm not quite sure what that green is. I have no idea. But check out the shine on that calcite though. Isn't that pretty? I really like the yellow-white calcite combination. And of course the rainbows in there never hurt either. Here's another small piece of calcite over the Dolomite. Check out that green inclusion. It has a crystal structure. I'm not quite sure what it is. Here's another brief example of some Dolomite over the matrix. Check out the sparkles on that Dolomite. Isn't that beautiful? Here's a couple of small pieces of some purple calcite mixed with the yellow. After I do a few detail shots of these, I'm going to show you my Druzy Quartz pieces. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day. God bless.